Yeah, I can do it now. All right, sorry guys. If you're I had it where you guys couldn't leave comments. This is gonna be a really, really quick live. It's been a long 24 hours, like I said in my previous one, if you had just joined. A little over 24 hours now, almost 48 hours, kind of. So I just wanted to jump on live real quick. I will go into more depth about things either later today or tomorrow, maybe Monday, probably tomorrow. I doubt today, but I wanted people to know I'm alive, basically. I guess like the biggest things I'm going to want to talk about eventually is Aaron Smith Levin, ASL, growing up in Scientology. He had court yesterday and he did not get released. He is still detained. It's unclear when he'll go back in front of the judge. Some people are saying December 5th. Some people are saying the 12th. Some people are saying the 15th, the 18th. All we know, then there's some people are saying that his lawyer is trying to get him out maybe here in the next few days, but it sounds like he may not be able to spend Thanksgiving with his family. Really thought he was going to get out this last coming or yesterday, but clearly that didn't happen. So we'll see. It's kind of unclear exactly when he goes in front of the judge or if he's going to have to wait for his trial date. Sup, Brent? Yeah, nope, UPS on Saturdays. And then let's see what else. So we'll talk more about Aaron and that situation in Scientology and how unjust all of that is. Today is the 22nd, so Monday we have DOA and he has his court stuff, so we'll talk about that. Again, this is going to be a very quick live. I just wanted to jump on real quick. I doubt I'll be on more than 10 minutes right now. I just wanted to make sure people knew I am here. The other biggest thing is the U.S. Department of Education. I'm so peeved off about right now. I have other words. Them determining or potentially stating that careers such as mine, people with masters of social work degrees, doctorates of social work, nurses, physical therapists, nurse practitioners, nurses, physician assistants, pathologists, speech therapists, teachers, things of that nature are not professional degrees. So somebody who's on that list who has, hey, Jojo Bananas, I'm not going to be really long. I just wanted to jump on real quick. Really tired, had a really long, over 24 hours. But as somebody that is on this list of somebody who's worked their ass off, who has a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work and is considered not a professional and has been working in the field for 15 years and has helped more people, and has worked mainly in healthcare as a social worker, as a medical social worker, as an emergency room social worker. Hey, Official Judas. Hi. I am, what are you doing right now? Right now, I usually go live. I try to go live almost daily at some point. I have just had a big move in the last 24 hours. And so I'm just wanting to make sure people know that. Do you get money? No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not monetized yet. I mean, I have, if you want to check out and donate, I have my Venmo, I have my Cash App listed. But yeah, if you can subscribe, I'm really trying to get up to at least 600 subscribers. Goal is 1,000. Okay. But basically I'm going to have a longer video where I'm going to talk about Aaron, Smith Levin with Scientology, ex-Scientologist. He had his court date yesterday. He is still reprimanded and he remains in custody. We thought he was going to get out. He's not getting out. It's very unclear when he will get out. Then I also want to talk about the fact that certain professional degrees, which is a degree that I have, is now potentially going to be considered having cuts to go get a higher education. So I have a master's in social work. I have a bachelor's in social work. I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for 15 years. Nurses, physician assistants, speech pathologists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, people in public health, administration, things of that nature. I am absolutely, if you follow me on other platforms, I am just raging right now about that. I didn't do an undergrad practicum and do 450 hours of an internship, and I didn't go and get my master's degree for 650 hours of free labor. I didn't do all this volunteer hours that I was mandated to do. I have so much student loans. So at this point, I feel like I should take my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, light it up in a bonfire, and not pay back my student loans if they're not considered professional degrees. And so should nurses. It's just so disrespectful. It is so disrespectful to these individuals, to these professions that are potentially going to be considered not professional degrees and not get the funding and the student loans that we need to have a higher education. And almost all these that are listed, nurses, nurse practitioners, social workers, physical therapists, occupational therapists, people that work in public health, teachers, physician assistants, APRNs, things like that. What are they? Get a job? I do have a job. Thank you very much. Can you say Layla? Layla. Yeah, you're here, so stop like we don't care. Yeah, it's a Saturday. I'm not working on a Saturday. Okay? And you're in my live, so. And then for St. Thomas, I don't know if you're in here. St. Thomas, I already commented. I did watch that thing, that documentary, even though I don't care for Tucker Carlson at all. I did watch that documentary about that Timothy guy, that 30-minute. I mean to the haters. Oh, sorry, Nat. I apologize. I'm a little feisty right now. That's why I'm not going to go live. I want to come live when I'm a little bit calmer. I'm not as tired and exhausted. But there's so many things I want to talk about. I'm a medical social worker. I have a bachelor's degree in social work. For the first 6.5 to 7 years, I worked in behavioral health medicine for psychiatric hospital, behavioral health hospital. And then in 2017, I transitioned into medical social work. So I've worked in the emergency room of 2 major healthcare systems. And then I've also worked on the inpatient side too, worked during COVID. No, Sarah. I appreciate that, though. I don't. I'm exhausted. I have no makeup on. I appreciate that you subscribed. But again, I'm making this. You must be gutted, Cat. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm really pissed for all of us who have our master's degree in social work, people who have their doctorate's degrees in social work. I'm upset for nurses. I'm upset for nurse practitioners. I'm upset for physician assistants. I'm upset for teachers. I'm upset for people that work in public health, physical therapists, occupational therapists. I don't have the list in front of me. These are just the ones I can think off the top of my head. And of course, I can advocate for all these other professions that people have degrees in. Obviously for me though, I'm going to stand on my soapbox and talk more about obviously somebody who has an abundance of student loan debt, and social workers are already first off undervalued, do not get paid what we should be paid. We are not compensated. We are one of the lowest paying professions. People think that we're just baby snatchers because people associate social workers just strictly with like DCFS or CPS or taking kids away. That's not it. There's an array. Just like as nurses, you can do so much in nursing. There's so much you can do as a social worker too, in the field. We've worked our asses off. We have to get, even if you just have a bachelor's degree, you still are mandated to do 450 hours of an internship unpaid to graduate, and then like 60 to 80 hours of volunteer work. And then when you go and get your master's degree, you have to do all the courses. You have to do another 650 hours of a graduate internship, 650 hours. You have to do a thesis. I mean, it's no joke. And as somebody that's a social worker that works in healthcare, that works in the medical field side of social work, working alongside nurses, working alongside nurse practitioners, working alongside physical therapists, occupational therapists, physician assistants, nurse practitioners who are also on this list, it is a slap in the face. It is a slap in the effing face. So I'm going to have probably a longer live about that. And then again, it's the same here. Nurses and teachers went to the government and managed to fight for a wage rise, but took years for them to listen. This is Scotland and UK as a whole. Yeah, same thing here. I mean, nurses have been doing it at the hospital I previously been working at. Our nurses, they just got a raise for an increase for, God, I can't think of it off the top of my head how you phrase it. Like living wage increase because inflation is so high. It sucked because us social workers didn't, but again, undervalued, underappreciated. But when you need us, really need us, then that's when it's just really funny because people, especially when you work in healthcare and social work, people don't want a social worker. They don't get it. Some people have bad experiences with social work because you could be a school social worker, be an individual therapist if you're licensed and do individual counseling. You can work at a residential treatment facility. You can work at a substance abuse treatment facility. You can work for the VA, for the veterans. You can work at there's micro, meso, macro levels of social work. You can work for the government. You can work for FEMA. You can work for the Red Cross. You can work for a substance abuse treatment center. I mean, there's so many levels of social work that you can do. Again, there's micro, meso, macro social work. There's an array. I already said school social work. You can work in behavioral health medicine. You can do a lot. And being told that all the work that we've put in and studied and the loans that we've had to take out and pay back, and of course, I was that 18-year-old. I said, oh, I'm not going in it for the money. I want to help people. Obviously, then you grow up and you realize, well, SHIT shit, we already don't get paid enough. We're undervalued. We're not appreciated until you're really needed. It's really, really interesting, especially when you work in a hospital. People always, the first thing, which I get, people want to talk with the doctors. They want the doctors, they want the nurses, they want the doctors, they want the nurses. But once they're more kind of stabilized or it's getting closer to discharge time, patients and or family members start freaking out. And who's doing the discharge planning? Who's setting up all your aftercare? Who's getting you to a rehab, or who's getting you to a nursing facility, or who's getting you equipment, or grandma, or you just dump them off in the emergency room because you can't take care of them anymore, or grandma or grandpa or your older generation who have been on the ground for 24, 48 hours, and somebody finally called a wellness check and the fire department goes into the house and they have no running water and there's no heat or there's no electricity and all this stuff. Who do they turn to? They turn to us social workers. That's when we're needed. Go ahead, call ICE. I don't care. ICE can go fuck themselves. Department of Homeland Security can go fuck themselves. Border Control can go fuck themselves. I'm an American fucking citizen. You want to know where I was born? I was born in fucking Evanston, Illinois. Look me up. Young adults changing their minds, staying in the field due to lack of pay. People from other countries are coming over to do jobs like care workers. Yeah, I mean, this they're gonna if this actually happens and goes through, they're gonna have nobody. When the hospital that I worked in the ER, I work for a really big healthcare system. The ER that I worked in, the nurses that actually are employed by that hospital, there are less nurses actually employed by that hospital, like the actual hospital itself, the healthcare system, because there's so many nurses that don't want to work bedside anymore. There are more travel nurses, so they aren't actually employed by that hospital or that healthcare system. They work through like AYA, it's a travel healthcare AYA, and then there's another one, Vivian. There's more travel nurses because they get paid double than the actual nurses that are employed by that healthcare, by that system. If I were a nurse, I would tell you, and I worked in the city of Chicago or a suburb of Chicago, where I'm from, I'd go work for a hospital